You put me here on this platform to tell the truth. Speak to me when I be speaking to the youth.
There are 7.99 billion people in the world right now. And for each person, 96% of their efforts towards personal development fail because they never created a habit to work towards their mindset. And habit becomes easier if you make it easier to access. So by hitting the subscribe button, you'll not only be creating a habit to think better, perform on a higher level, and be more confident, it'll also mean the world to me by helping us make more valuable and life-changing content for the world. Hit the subscribe button.
My boy Q
ready?
Miles, man. How you feeling today?
Miles. I'm feeling good about yourself, bro.
How you feeling?
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Definitely.
Feeling real good,
It took a
it's raining. It took a little while, but we here.
no worries. It took a little while. No, I met you recently at this networking event.
Yeah,
not
the
too
Mixer.
long ago, at the Mixer. And
Yeah.
what was it? It was in Fort Lauderdale, right?
Something like that, yeah. Like
Fort Lauderdale or Plantation, I think.
Yeah, somewhere.
Something
Broward.
like that. But yeah, Broward. I'm from Day, but it was in Broward.
Yeah.
But I realized that we know a lot of mutual people, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanna ask you this. Well, first and foremost, tell the people what you do, things like that. Like, what's your core passion? I'm gonna get into everything.
Cool. So I'm a man of many skills, right? But obviously you got to work on one thing at a time. So as for right now, I am an insurance broker, right? I'm trying to do it independently. I do work for agencies. I have worked for multiple agencies, but I'm also trying to fully transition into the fashion industry. That's what I've been doing, and that's my main goal is to be successful predominantly in the fashion industry. I'm working my way there. I'm doing pretty good, but it's about solidifying it and making a living off of it.
When you say fashion,
Yeah.
what type of aspect do you want to get into when it comes to fashion? Because I seen that you model. Not sure if you have a clothing brand coming out and things of that nature. Like, what about fashion has you? And I want to get into that a little bit more.
Okay, cool. So, all right, so I'm from Jersey. Jersey to me is like the cousin of New York and everything. So at least my part of Jersey, the people I was with, our culture was fashion. Like, that's how it is. Like, New York is the capital of fashion in America, like literally. So, of course, them being the main source of fashion, anything near it is going to be affected too. Jersey is one of them, right? So just grew up being in fashion, artist. First I was an artist. My dad was an artist first. So when I was little, I grew up, naturally drawing, like started drawing out of nowhere, started drawing. I started drawing Goku and everything. I just never thought about it. I just started doing it. And I'm like, dang, I started drawing and everything like my dad. And then, my family's very business oriented. So I'm like, I like business too, but I also like fashion. So that's when I got into the clothing line because you combine all three of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Fashion, business, and art.
This
makes sense. So I've been doing that. It's called Nervous Wreck. I've been pushing it for a while.
Oh, that's it on the hat too.
Yeah,
okay.
It's one of the robos, one of the logos, not the main logo, but it's one of the logos. And I got the jacket on, the shirt. We do a lot.
The pants is fire too, man.
Appreciate it.
My boy came here and I played, man.
Appreciate it.
I just came regular,
man, you got the shit. You got the rips on the knees. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Fucks with it. Yeah.
So what got you, like, let's back things up a little bit, man.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people that gets into fashion and is that passionate about fashion.
Yeah.
Where you mentioned you was drawing when you was younger. Did you always have an eye for like not just drawing, but clothing and designing and entrepreneurship on that aspect? Like, how did that come up? When did you really decide, like, hey, this is it?
I'll say probably like junior or senior year of high school. I was like, but I ain't truly know what I wanted to do until after. I had an idea because I was a dancer too. Like I said, I'm
you did everything.
I do everything, and I'm good at it. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people fuck with me because
that's cool.
I'm open-minded to a lot of stuff. So I meet friends in dancing, meet friends that do art, et cetera, et cetera. So at the time, I was just big in dancing and, girls and partying and shit. So it's like, and I was only making so much money. And you know the deal. You got to be able to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
I wasn't really making much. I was a young bull. You know what I'm saying? I only had so much money. So when I moved out here from Jersey to Florida around 2014. Started working for AT&T, making a little some money. I was like, all right, let's get it started.
So you was working for AT&T and you decided let's get started.
Yeah.
Why did that thought came in when you started working AT&T and you decided right there? Because I love to like understand people's moments of purpose. So like dive us into what you was feeling, what you was thinking to decide, hey, you know what, I'm gonna just kick started and I'm gonna just either open up my clothing brand, start modeling and things of that nature.
Yeah. So all right, so as I said, I was only making so much money. Like, even when I came out here, I started fresh. Like I started a clean slate. I didn't have nothing. I was living with my grandparents, right? So
When you came here,
when I came here,
when you came here, junior year, senior year?
no, I came here like 2014. I graduated in 2010. Came out here so 4 years later. I came out here.
Wow, and and you graduated in Jersey, right?
I graduated in Jersey.
So
but I went to school, college out here.
Okay.
The Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale.
Got you.
So when I was working at AT&T, I was working at AT&T and going to school. So I don't want to hear nobody excuses talking about, oh, I can't make money, bro. I was working full-time at AT&T and making sure I was going to school, bro.
That's facts.
You get what I'm saying?
That's facts.
So it's definitely possible. But anyways, yeah, so I was making AT&T money at the time. AT&T money was straight, you know what I mean? From what I was getting into, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm making a few $100 extra. I started investing in myself, investing in the business. And at the same, as I said, I was at the Art Institute too. So it's like, you know, I mean, the motivation of being around other students and other creators, it's just like, all right, let's get it going. Like, let's get this shit rolling so I could, you know, promote while I'm at school with other, you know, other creators, other students, and the programs that the school is providing as well.
Got you. So let's get into the beginning aspects of it, because I like to get into the details of these things. So you mentioned you like business, you like fashion, and you like art, and you want to combine everything all in one. So what was the beginning like for you when you were investing into yourself? Was it just getting new clothes and taking the modeling route? Did you start to invest in the business and start creating clothing to sell it out? Like, how was that for you?
Yeah, you started making, you know, started off with just the t-shirts, hats, you know, the normal stuff, and then selling it out, you know, going to pop-up shops. I've done networking events where I set my own tables up. You know, I use the money to, you know, kind of invest in my own opportunity instead of just waiting for it all the time. I still do it to this day, but
so what would you say is the framework for starting out if somebody was to get into fashion in the way you did? What would be the framework for starting it out just so they can be successful and then scale up from there?
Start off light, you know, cliche, start off with some t-shirts. You know, everybody will wear t-shirts, but the things about the t-shirts, this is my professional opinion, right? Don't just put, because like I said, it's art. All you doing, when it comes to a t-shirt, you're putting your art on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So you gotta have art that people will be willing to buy. You just put in a little logo there, plain t-shirt, and like, hey, $20. It's like, bro, it's like there's no fashion behind that. There's no design. Like, it has to be some type of concept that people can relate to. And when they put that shirt on as a t-shirt, it'd be like, oh, this fire. You know what I mean? That's it.
Now, I know a couple clothing designers, like one or two. And I've heard the trend with these two. When you first started, did you pay attention to quality, or did you focus more on designs and selling it based off of the design starting out? Because I've heard some people say,
that's an interesting question.
Yeah, because I've heard, you know, those people say, and I've seen some videos on Instagram too where they're like, hey, just because you have a good design and if the quality is bad, most people are not going to be inclined to purchase it if they see it at the pop-up shops compared to other people. Okay. Like, what was the mindset for you when you first started out?
It was average for me. I wasn't looking for top quality, because obviously the better the quality, the more money, right? And it's about, you know, capitalizing and making more of a profit than what you're doing. And just not to get off a topic, but listen, no shade, but Nike, all them, that's cheap material. Even the billionaire companies, they're not paying $20 a sneaker. You think those sneakers $20? That's spending $1, $2, $1.50. Spend how much you spend now. Yeah. So it's like, so it all comes down to the style. To me, of course, you know, you don't want to sell a shitty product because you want it to last, and you don't want any bad customer reviews.
Yeah, because at that point they're selling the name.
Yeah.
They're selling the name because they built up the name up until that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that.
Yeah, so it's like, and I just think most people, cause that's why you have your Forever 21s, your Rue 21s. They're not high quality material. Somebody could tell you, hey, after Sheen, you heard of Sheen?
Yeah, I heard of Sheen.
Sheen is popping. Sheen is very. I shop from Sheen sometimes,
Yeah.
but some people fuck with it. Some people don't. Some people be like, hey, listen, after 2 washes, it's done. Some people, but hey, listen, I have my stuff for however long, so it just depends on what type of pieces you buy. But
I feel you. I've heard the same things where the quality is kind of like
kind of, but you still fuck with it.
Yeah,
so
because
just
the style.
Yeah, so just put everything in one. I would say the concept and art over more of the quality. Again, but I'm not saying the quality is shitty.
Yeah, I feel you.
The art is more important.
So as you continue this stride in fashion, I like to ask artists these questions. What inspires you to make certain pieces? And if so, do you have a favorite piece that you made out of everything?
That's a good question. What inspires me?
Yeah.
To make certain. So
like
I have a concept behind my brand. So if you check here, right, everything, and I've been doing it for a while. A lot of people use, lightning and all that stuff. You really check my stats and my history of how long I've been doing this. I've always been incorporating lightning bolts and that lightning thunder concept to my style. So a lot of what I do,
I see that on the hat too behind it. I'm seeing that. I like it.
Has to do with the lightning. So I try to make designs and concepts that works around that for the most part, and that's what inspires me. Is seems simple, but is the lightning part and keeping that concept and being a nervous wreck robo, and right now it's kind of pushing the concept of mental health awareness too.
Really?
Yeah, so that's a big thing too. So it's pretty new. I didn't start off with mental health awareness, but as I gradually, been doing this, and being consistent with it, I was like, man, I need to, as a business and as individuals, I need to connect this with something that connect with more people that I also believe in as well, right? And I genuinely believe in mental health awareness, and I think it's perfect. Nervous wreck. The robot looking like he's going crazy. Yeah, I think man, it'd be perfect.
So what is the meaning behind all that? Like, what is the statement behind focusing on mental health awareness and things of that nature? Okay. Like that's the same with this podcast, because the goal with this is to help people think better, perform on a higher level, and be more confident. Yeah. Because I noticed that, because I've dealt with that myself growing up. Despite me talking in front of you right now, my audience heard it before. I had a stutter growing up in high school, in middle school, and elementary, and I didn't even want to talk. So this is just a testament that, hey, once you change your environment, once you're around certain people that are trying to advance in life and trying to work on their mental health, work on their environment, work on being better, you will see the change within yourself. And that's why I have this platform for it. So people can relate to you and see your journey, see your growth, see your struggles, see your wins, and then and they can be like, you know what, I can do it too, because that's all it took for me.
So y'all hear that, audience? This man said he used to stutter, and he's having a podcast right now when predominantly he has to talk.
Yeah. Bro,
like, you could do it. You get what I'm saying? It's all a mindset thing.
Anybody could do it.
I'm telling you.
You feel me? Like anybody could do it. And
you don't gotta kill yourself. You don't gotta go in depression. My brand is to wear it proudly and own up to what you're going through and feel good doing it, because you know the famous saying, if you look good, you
feel good. Yes,
now,
yes,
so if my thing is, all right, if nervous wreck, I'm representing mental health. It's like I'm having these people own up and wear that pain, but make them feel good. You get what I'm saying? So instead of being depressed, it's like, man, okay, yeah, I'm going through this. I got my nervous wreck. I'm going through a nervous wreck, but a thunderstorm doesn't last forever.
Gotcha.
Soon the sun is going to come out.
Gotcha. I want to ask you, is it okay if you get vulnerable and things like that?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm an open book.
What was the hardest thing that you had to overcome or get through mentally, emotionally, physically, in that nature? Like for me, I almost died. Like I almost died July 4th, 2019.
Damn, now my month.
And
Yeah.
yeah, July 4th, 2019, off of just pure emotions.
Really?
Yeah.
Just off of emotions?
Just off of emotions because I was going through a lot and I'm the type to like bottle things up at the time. That was when I started. That's before I started worrying about mental health, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Kind of just blew up, overtook 3 cars. I was about to overtake the 4. They made a left turn. I would have went away scot-free and I would have went down that left road with them. But I saw a G-Wagon coming up. And I was in a 2010 Nissan Maxima. So it's either I hit the G-Wagon head on or I hit the driver's side door of the VW that was right next to me. So I hit the driver's side door. I flew in, went to a ditch, flew into a tree. The reason why I said I almost died is because before I flew into that ditch, you know those short, thick, stubby palm trees?
Yeah.
It was right in front of me. And you know, them things tough.
Yeah.
I would have flew out the window if I'd hit that thing straight on.
And you probably didn't even have your seatbelt on.
I didn't. And then, but it was God at that moment. Next thing you know, I see that my hand was up because I hit the car. Next thing you know, the tree was in front of me. My hands were just up. I'm like, yo, I accept it. I'm like, down. But then I don't know, the steering wheel veered off to the left. You can see how bad because the right side of my body, not the right side of the body of the car, hit the tree and it was damaged. But the initial impact of the crash barely did anything to the car. My car wasn't total loss.
What?
It wasn't total loss.
It
wasn't total loss. But the right side, if I would have hit it head on, it would have been total loss. Because the right side was complete. Because it literally scraped the tree. So the sheer force of it scraping it almost messed up my tie rod, but it did mess up some of the framework on that side, so I had to still redo the framework. But imagine if I hit the engine and everything head on, I would have flew out the window. Well, I couldn't even put a picture, and I'll show you after, bro.
You know, it's a blessing that you survived that. So from my spiritual belief, if you survived that, it's because you have a purpose here. That's how I believe it. Facts. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me tell you what's crazy. Since we're getting vulnerable, I kind of been in a similar situation in Florida. That's why when I told you earlier, when it rains, I get anxiety when driving because for Reddit, you can't drive out here, bro. I'm sorry. It's always crazy. And it's like,
I feel you.
So real quick, I'm not gonna get deep into it, but I'm coming from school, from college, I'm tired. And I ended up falling asleep, so it's kind of on me. That's crazy. But I never fell asleep, and I was right at the exit to get off, and I'm turned up my music because like to keep me up.
I know how it be. I just do overnight. I know how it be.
Close my eyes for 5 seconds. I'm literally a truck. It's like a 12 wheeler, whatever. It's a big ass truck, and the truck. I'm not even driving because I fell asleep. The truck is dragging me like. My car is side like on my side, on the driver's side, it's under the truck, and the truck is like just dragging my car.
Jesus.
And I wake up and I'm like, oh shit. I get out. So in your case, you know what I mean? Like just like your case, my driver's side, it wasn't total, but the whole thing was scraped up, right? It was just all fucked up on the side.
And you said it was under the 18
it got caught under. So there's a truck here, my car here, because my car is smaller. I had like a Mitsubishi at the time. So my car was like under it and I fell asleep. So it was kind of dragging my car. And when it started dragging my car, that's when I woke up and I was like, oh shit. And I literally said, oh shit. Got out. Now the crazy thing about that is that since everything was such an impulse, I was in the middle of the road. I didn't know a car could have been coming on the side. I just turned right and got out the side. But if that truck wasn't there, bro, I would have totally crashed out because, like I said, I went to sleep. My car kept going left. So when I dipped out to the left, sleeping, that truck came through and turned me straight. It was dragging me for me to go straight. If so, I would have kept going to the left and crashed somewhere else.
If you would think about it, like it was holding you, bro.
It was holding you. I turned.
That was God right there, just holding you straight.
Yeah. The truck was holding me straight and carrying me along until I woke up and I got out of it. And it wasn't total, so that's crazy, bro. So something we can relate to.
So would you say that was the hardest thing that you went through, or like what defined your need to care about mental health awareness and people's mental health that you thought to apply it into your clothing?
In a way, I'm an empath. in a way. I say
Empath? I never heard of that. What is
yeah,
that?
empath is somebody who feels deeply for other people, very concerning for other people's feelings or what they go through. You know, what I mean, pretty much, I put myself in other people's shoes, and then I feel what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? I don't completely feel it because I'm not experiencing it, but I'm like, damn, if I was in that, like, I feel for bro, like, I feel for shorty. You get what I'm saying? Like, how can I help him? So I'm not the type of person. So seeing certain people that I know or people outside just like go through stuff, or just people personally that I know just going through stuff, it's like, man, nah, man, like, if you with me now, you gotta get that straight, bro. Like, you're not gonna give up, at least not around me. You get what I'm saying? If I'm around, I'm gonna make sure you know what I mean, you're a dude, you gonna feel like you can get any girl you want. If you're a woman, I'm gonna make sure you feel like, well, best way I can feel, best way I can, because a woman can get a little emotional. But as a man, I want to make sure like she feels as comfortable and as safe as possible. You know what I mean? And make sure her mental is straight.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah.
That's fire. So I want to ask you this as we wrap things up, man. Given that you care about mental health, given that you're doing all these things within the art field, what would you say defines success for you? Like, what defines success? Like, what does success mean to you?
Okay. Success for me is simple, because being successful is subjective, obviously. Most people will say, hey, get in a mansion, blah, blah, blah. But as you get older, to me, it's you setting a goal for yourself and completing it, right? So this is a success right here, us being here. We set a goal, hey, we go meet up this day, we go do this podcast, we here. Boom, it's getting it done. That's a successful mission right there.
So being a man of your word?
Being a man of your word and setting a goal and completing it.
Amen.
That's it. That's how I think about it.
So what would you say is your success framework for making sure you complete a goal? Like, do you follow a step-by-step framework where you set your goals, time block it like some people do, or you just set it, you know it, and you just do it? It can be as easy as that. Like, but what is that framework for you?
For me personally, one of my flaws is procrastination. So when I set a goal, a lot of time I don't just jump right onto it. But like I have like a board in my room, a marker board that I write, my goals. So every time I have to walk past and look at it. So if I don't do it within 10 days, I'm gonna look at it, like I'm gonna see it sooner and remind me, hey, it's in my face, bro. Okay, bro, it's been 10 days, you ain't do it. All right, been 15 days. All right, let me start moving on to it.
Got you.
Yeah.
So you would say you pretty much just keep it in front of you.
Keep it in front of me until it's done. Yeah.
So would you say you would appreciate accountability?
Yeah.
Like, what does accountability look like for you? Like, if you were to receive accountability, how would that look like? Or like, how ideal? Like, what would you say accountability looks like for you? Is it just somebody calling you every day? Is it you being a part of a community and you just meet up and seeing them accomplish their goals is gonna make you turn that 15-day procrastination to 10 days, maybe even 5 days? What does accountability look like for you?
Well,
If
in
it were
general,
ideal.
accountability to me,
Yeah,
it just being a man of your word, and taking ownership of your actions, especially if you're wrong. But based off what you're saying,
yeah. As in, what type of
when I see
accountability
other
you
people, like
mean?
my peers, doing stuff, that motivates me. You know what I'm saying? They completed their goals, they posted something like, yeah, I just did this. And I'm like, dang, man, make me reflect on myself. I'm like, damn, I gotta get on my shit and everything. Like,
yeah, that's real.
Let me get it. It's a competition thing. It's a friendly competition thing, but that's what people need to learn. Stop hating and start appreciating. You know what I'm saying? Like, and be motivated. Somebody being successful or reaching their goal should motivate you. It shouldn't make you feel envious. That's crazy to me. It means you got a lot mentally you need to deal with yourself, which steers back to mental health awareness.
I like that. I like that, G.
Yeah.
I like that, G.
Appreciate
I appreciate you coming on the show today, man.
Yeah.
It was dope. So, what would you say as final question? I know I asked a lot of questions, G, but final question. What would, like, looking back on your life, things you went through, things you've done, what would you say is the number one takeaway that you want to make sure everybody has or everybody knows? The number one takeaway in life.
That's a crazy question. because it's so many. It's so many.
There's so many, but
There's so many.
it's hard to pinpoint it on one.
Okay. Repeat that question one more time.
What would be the number one takeaway you wish everybody would know? Because once you knew it, you was like, yo, this is life changing.
Okay, so I would say for right now, off my mindset currently, I would say, don't ever let anybody's fear of themselves, don't let somebody throw their fears on you and who affect your decision, because they say, hey, I can't do it, that means you can't do it. And it's not like that. It's just because you couldn't do it. And also, I strongly feel if somebody doubts you, that should motivate you to really do it. Somebody tell you can't do it, it means you should do it.
Fire.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't ever listen to somebody who said you can't, especially spiritually and mentally. Like everybody has that feeling like, man, this is a great idea. And you just, you know what I'm talking about. You just have that.
You have that hunger, that like
Yeah,
fire within you.
it's that fire in you. You just know you can't explain it. You just gotta show people.
Yeah.
So people gonna doubt you because you probably heard this a lot. Not everybody's not gonna understand your vision.
Yeah.
So you gotta create that vision for them. And you're the only person to do that because you have the vision for it. If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense, bro. God only gave that vision to you.
Yeah.
So why would you let somebody else cloud that vision?
Like AI, like the technology, like the stuff, we would have thought like, hey, this is only on TV. You get what I'm saying? After a while, like, man, a lot of stuff on TV is actually could be a reality.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
With the right level of intention and execution, yeah.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody would have thought you could talk through a phone and video chat each other. People probably, you know what I'm saying? That's probably the last thing people would have thought of in human history.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But I know my parents probably thought that same thing.
Yeah.
They lived through no phones. So I think about it every day. Like, yo, our parents really lived through a society where there was no phones.
Hell yeah. Like the Jetsons, you watching these cartoons, it's like, dang, the hologram. And it's like, listen, we're really living that right now. So that should just tell you right now, just like, anything pretty much is possible if you really put the time, and of course you know the right people.
Yeah, and just follow that vision.
Yeah, because to me, connection with people is more valuable than money. Because the reason why I say that is because money could buy you things instantly, obviously, if you have it. But when the longevity comes, when it comes to the more important things, because you know this famous saying, it's not sometimes, what is it? It's not what you do, it's about who you know, something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's real because, for instance, right? Quick example. I know this executive, right? He's having this big event, right? The average person has to pay $300 to be a part of it, just to invest. I know this executive. So he'd be like, yo, come through. Did I need money to get to that club, get into that event? No. Those people did, though. They had to pay $300 to go to this big event because they didn't know the person. They didn't know the connection with the company, whoever they were with. I did, so I didn't have to use money. Yeah. So what was more important, the money or that connection?
The connection. Nah, that's fire. That's fire. The connection is always most important.
So it's always good. I also believe, listen, talk to everybody, saying I don't talk down on nobody, bro, and everything, none of that.
And most times, people just don't build genuine connections anymore.
Don't get me started, bro.
They don't build genuine connection. They don't.
People just be talking.
Yeah.
People be talking.
Yeah, they just talk. They either. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still those good. It's a lot of good people out there. I'm like, don't get me. There's a lot of good people out there, but like you can see it in their actions.
Let me ask you a question.
So,
speaking of that, when we at that mixer, you talk to people, and be truthful. Outside of me, how many other people came on your show?
I would say that I met there. I was waiting on your boy, but other than that, nobody else.
Okay.
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
and speaking on connections, how the guy said, he let you come in for free, everybody else, I gave an opportunity, like the opportunity that I gave them, because usually for people to come on the podcast is to pay to come on, either the support package, or if they're a content creator and influencer, they either just pay just to get the digital content that comes from this too. That's usually how it goes for podcasts nowadays.
Okay.
But you, I was like, yo, I feel like you got a voice, you got something to say. Come on. And that was just my heart speaking. Sometimes you just gotta let your heart speak and flow, bro.
So let me ask you this. Was I the only guy you talked to about your podcast?
Nah.
But I was the only one who came.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like people really do BS.
Yeah.
And there's certain people who's really about that action. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And you see it in their actions. That's why nowadays, bro, when people say they're gonna do things and create a plan with you, I've built the habit where I'm not gonna repeat it in your head like I'm micromanaging you. If me and you say we're gonna do something, and it's my turn to hit you up, I know I need to text you and hit you up and respond to you. But if somebody, that usually that other person wouldn't hit you back,
so
because they're not a man of their, they don't stand on their word like that.
They say.
Yeah,
and it sucks. And I just learned this for myself, because I think just as a man, well, I just think in general, but specifically as a man, because we have a lot more pressure to hold on our shoulders.
Yeah.
So we have to do a lot of reflection. You get what I'm saying? You have to really sometimes look in the mirror, or just have some time yourself and think to yourself, I'm like, man, I gotta get this shit together.
Yeah.
Right. So like, piggybacking off of that, it's like people will. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of lost my train of thought.
No, yeah.
But what I was trying to say
I was just saying how people don't stand on their word in that sense. And
yeah,
it's like even nowadays, bro, where it's like there's this time where me and this other person was supposed to set up and do something. I kept being on top of it. And then when they lashed out on me, it's like, yo, you said we were going to do it. I've done everything. Now we need you to move forward so we can execute, but it's not moving anywhere. It's like, yo, now I learned at that point, much like how you said, the people around you is important. If people are not a man of the word and they don't stand on their word, it's not like I'm gonna just drop you and let you go and just not hang out with you, but it's like I show more of an effort towards the people that do what they say.
As you should. And it came back to me. So I was saying, when I was doing reflection, I personally learned, and it sounds like you probably know this as well, you can't expect yourself in other people. That was one of my flaws. I had to reflect on. I used to be like, dang. Like, especially with older folks, I'm not gonna say names, but certain people in my life that are older than me, my elders, who do certain things. I'm like, damn, I'm younger. I'm younger than you, and all that stuff. And it's like, I gotta keep manning up in certain situations. But you're supposed to be the parent or whatever, the elder, or just in general. It's like, man, that's them.
Yeah,
you're a whole different, from a different. You know what I'm saying?
That's my biggest fight, because I feel as if, hey, if you told me to do this and I say yes and I'm executing on something because I see your vision, I'm going to make sure I put the maximum amount of effort I can into something. But most of the time, not all, and I'm blessed to have the team that I have right now, because they see the vision and they actually execute with their passion. But it's like, I've seen some people where we say we're going to do things, they see my vision, but the effort they put out is like minuscule, and it's like, and that's my biggest battle, because I can't put that visualization that, hey, they're me. They will do the work that I would do, when the work that I would do is the work I would do. And I have to understand the work that they do, and I need to understand how to communicate and talk to them, so we can either be on the same page and know where we, know what the next step is, or I'm gonna be offended. And I learned this at my church recently, where they said the reason why people feel offense or offended is because they expected something of the other person. But how can they expect something from the other person if they never talked about it in the first place?
And that's why I move like with people and stuff in general. I don't put a lot of expectation, because more expectation leads to more disappointment.
Yeah. And you said balling up can be your worst enemy?
Yeah, or a lifesaver. depending on the situation.
How so?
So, for instance, right, like how you were explaining, if you keep everything bottled in, you don't open your mouth because you're scared of somebody's reaction. That person going to be continue to repeat to do what's bothering you.
Yeah.
Right now,
and as a man, and I like that you said that because, and you piggybacked on what I said because as a man, if you staying in your emotions like that, you're just a female man.
As a killer.
Because as a man, you need to stand on what you say and how you feel and like actually move forward in life, not letting your emotions affect you like that.
And bro, holding your try from my experience, bro, me bottling up stuff, like I'm a good guy, but the quiet guys that smile a lot, they're the ones who kill you. I'm not saying I'm gonna kill somebody, but it's like I ain't gonna lie. You think about that. Bro. It's like, bro, it's like if it was a Wild Wild West, I ain't gonna lie. Few people probably would have been done. I hope I can say that, but like if it was no laws or something, because it's like, man, it's like the shit is bottled up, and especially when it comes to, I would say, black households. You get what I'm saying? We could talk about it because we're black men ourselves. But from my experience and from my peers' experience, it's kind of similar. You can't really express yourself about your parents pretty much telling you grow up telling, like, you express yourself to your parents and they kind of blow it off. And they have that mentality, I'm the parent. I could do whatever I want to you. I can say whatever I want to you because you're a child and you can't say nothing back because I'm the parent.
Yeah.
And people like that in general. Outside of that, when you deal with those type of people to the point you hold that in, that's not healthy mentally. You become, what's that word?
Toxic or
well, it becomes toxic, but you build resentment to people who are close to you or that you love, and based off of that. And I think a lot of people could relate. I could relate to that myself. Like, I grew up in that type of household. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's why I had that stutter, man. Like, I was like, I'm saying, like, the people on I say this story all the time where I was like, I'm Haitian.
Okay.
And my family reprimanded me for asking questions. I'm telling you because, you know, I know you don't know. So it caused me to not ask any questions and build up a stutter and be insecure.
You get nervous,
yeah. Because every time I do it, they're like, yo, you gonna die. You're asking all these questions. But I'm asking questions to learn how to live, not survive.
And understand.
And understand.
And understand. And then, and then it's like, parents gotta remember, listen, like, one day you're gonna want us to take care of you too. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be sick. Like, you get what I'm saying? And on top of that, we didn't ask to be here.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, it's a very touchy subject thing. It's like, I'm thinking about it now, and it's just like, damn, because it's like, bro, we just genuine. All we wanted to do, like, why? Teach me so I learn, give me an understanding. Because at the end of the day, I don't care if a kid, I don't care if you're a kid, I don't care if you're 3 years old. I'm gonna respect you.
I feel like most people don't know how to parent because I don't know if it's just how they were brought up in life and they're using what their parents did to us subconsciously without even realizing it. And sometimes it could be like that. Sometimes you inherently do something to your kids that your parents did to you.
So you think that's the situation with yours?
Yeah. Because seeing how my grandmother is, just when I was growing up, I can kind of see the similarities in my parents. But then that's why it's so good to know and ask your parents questions about who they are, who they were in the past, even your grandparents, because you can kind of see the trend in what they struggled with.
So let me ask you this then. So why is more of a cultural thing? Because like but it's like you tell me every black parent was taught that way.
You gotta imagine how we were brought up, how we were conditioned for so much years, bro. We were slaves at one point, you know. Like you got to know some of these things might cause triggers generationally.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Especially the ass whoopings,
bro.
You recognize the white community. They don't beat their kids.
They don't.
But the way we treat our kids, I remember my dad. I don't know what I'm saying this, but I was young.
But
so I remember I remember him saying it, like, listen, I'm about to I'll beat you like a slave. I'm like, damn, bro, like,
you
white people don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
They're the only thing. Because sometimes that might be the only way they know how to correct.
Yeah.
But it's the lack of education and understanding, and 9 times out of 10 when it comes to parenting is because like they forget that it's their child's first time experiencing that.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what we were saying. We put ourselves into somebody else and even our children. So they expect our kid not to touch the stove. But we failed to train and coach them what that experience would be like. Because granted, our curiosity, despite them saying no, our curiosity is still going to get the better of us because it's our first time.
Yeah.
But if they coached us and they showed us in the right direction, hey, this is dangerous. They do it a certain way. They're going to know, hey, this is dangerous because you showed them on something else.
But I do believe, you know what I'm saying? If you tell somebody, because there are people who will let you know, like, it's our hard-headed individuals to be, hey, listen, if you put your finger to that, it's gonna cut it off, right? So that's all I could do. I could just tell you.
Sometimes
you
you
still want to do
too.
it.
Sometimes you gotta show them too.
Yeah,
you
show
can
them
hot
hey.
dog or whatever. Because like I seen this video where this guy was talking about gun safety. He's like, you know, why would you have a safe for a gun if you have a family to protect? Imagine you're in a rush. You have to open up that safe. Do all that to get the gun out. Your family's probably long gone because you're rushing to get that out the safe. Why don't you instead train them to understand the dangers of this so it's to the point where you can leave that thing on the countertop, leave it in the drawer because they understand that. They know that. You train them how to use it, how to understand the dangers and implications of what that is. So if you train them how to take a gun, I've seen parents do that, and it works. They use a gun on the table,
or you train them to know how to use it themselves.
Exactly, like all
so
that.
They know how to handle it, to be safe with it. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly, and they know when somebody's not handling it right when they're in that environment. Because you'd be surprised what happens nowadays. They'll be safe. Why not do it that way? Why not show them in the best way that you can, where it still keeps the environment safe without having to strip them or to keep them in that curious state of, hey, I'm hard-headed because I'm so freaking curious. Like me, I'm curious as hell. Like, I've
as
done,
you should though.
Like,
that's how you get your shit done. You have to be curious.
Yeah, I've done things knowing somebody told me the precautions, but I still do it. You feel me? And I get that because sometimes you have that explorer nature in you. But if somebody shows it to you to a certain extent, it's like, okay, now I understand. And now it means nothing to me. You feel me?
Yeah. Some people just want that experience too. You get what I'm saying?
You're looking for that. Sometimes we need that stimulation. Because in life, we need that.
Definitely. Because life, to me, I believe, no disrespect to the great parents out there, but life is always the ultimate teacher.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because I think life teaches you so much, especially if you're out there and you have that curiosity. That what teaches you, because when you was curious, then life was able to teach you about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get what I'm saying?
We need life as a teacher instead of our parents.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, but sometimes that experience helps you in the long run. So certain people, I get it. Like for instance, like that's kind of like an analogy. Like our parents or whatever, a guardian, they try to, or whoever, they tell you not to do something because they probably failed or fucked up in it. But they tell you not to do it, but you probably the one to succeed in it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. You probably the one to be able to fulfill that from your curiosity. But them putting a fear in you from themselves is stopping you from doing that and limiting. That's why it goes back to, if somebody doubts you or tell you not to do it, it sounds contradicting, but do it. Obviously, if somebody tell you don't jump in a river, of course you're not gonna jump in a rapid river where you're gonna die. But of course something that treat it for
the right circumstances.
Something that could potentially benefit you and that you feel in your soul, and somebody tells you not to do it, and that means that's a green light for me to do it.
Amen.
That's it.
Amen.
You know
I
what I'm
like
saying?
that, man. I like that.
So I know we wrapping things up and everything.
So I appreciate all the gems you dropped, bro. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me here, man. I appreciate it. It's actually technically my first podcast, man.
Really?
I've been in interviews before, like on radio stations, but like on a podcast scene, it's my first thing. So
it's just a conversation, man.
Yeah,
it's just a conversation, man.
It's a cool experience, and just go pretty well.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying?
So at the end of the day, my name is Olivier J. Darcis. I'm with my boy Q Miles.
Q Miles, also known as Q the Slayer. You can find me on Instagram at q.the.slayer, right? My brand It's called Nervous Wreck. I spell it differently. I only use the nouns, I believe. So it's NRVS.WRCK on Instagram. Check out all my pieces. Again, this is some of my pieces here. Varsity jacket. I'm gonna take that risk. As I say, that it does incorporate, confidence in what you wear and make you feel better for mental health. So I'm gonna take that risk. Goes back to pretty much what we've been talking about. Somebody tell you no, you take that risk and do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? And most successful people are successful because they took that jump of faith.
Yeah.
If you're kind of scared, and I'm still learning that myself, because everybody want to play the safe role, but you have to take that leap of faith, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real. And we're here helping you do to do life well. Peace.
Wait, before you go, make sure you hit the subscribe button and check out the video that you think is the best for you. Or is it check out the video and hit the subscribe button? Man, you know what I'm trying to do. Peace.